Hello, this is a podcast.
Hello.
I'm Agent Ape, this is Boots.
Hi, I'm Boots.
And we have a special guest this week. It is Mitchell Wolfe.
Hello, I'm that person.
You may know him from such places as Nowhere, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is a new site feature.
Sort of.
Remember the front page?
No.
That me neither, actually. But basically, all this stuff that used to do, we're gonna kind of do here. So we're gonna have news, announcements of winners of contests.
Anything we decide to talk about.
It's sort of like a podcast, which is what
Sort
you're
of.
listening to.
Yeah, I remember 8 years ago when I first joined the forum. I remember how
those were the
excited I
good
used
days.
to be when I checked the front page and I saw, wow, that's right at the front. That's like the frontest page I've seen.
Yeah, it's amazing with how that just kind of went away, but it's back now and we like it. So
Instead of seeing it, you are hearing it. We have turned the front page into audio stimulus.
Yeah, man, 15 years ago when I first joined the forum, I was thinking to myself, man, I like this front page, but what if I could hear it? That'd be fantastic.
So hopefully we're going to live up to your expectations.
Well, I had
Yeah.
a lot of expectations 18 years ago when I first joined.
Yeah, it's 18 years is a lot of hype to build up. Well,
Yeah.
let me be the first to say I'm excited. This is like the inauguration of this new project, so I'm excited to be here.
yeah, so what we're gonna talk about today
Oh yeah, me too.
with Boots and Mitchell Wolfe is Mitch wanted to talk about the forum and he wanted to talk about his first EarthBound Beginnings playthrough. Now, one thing I should say is that every week we're going to sort of have like a discussion point, and I'm reviving the mailbag, so you can sort of send in stuff relating to that, but obviously no one sent in anything because this is new and we're
Right.
doing it.
I know we're not that popular yet.
Yeah, if you want me to
Well-
send in stuff, you need to give me at least an 18-year warning first.
Yeah, we gotta proofread it, screen it, do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard when you work for a 9-to-5 fan site job
For 32 years.
for 32 years. But we don't have the exact details on this yet, but
We have a loose plan, I'd say.
submissions to the new mailbag, if they're worthy submissions, like worth reading on the air, or if you can send in audio, I'll have the email for that in the opening post. And if the submissions are actually worth reading and they get played on the air, you'll get sort of points toward earning avatar rights. Because I know like people on the forum who aren't as arty sort of complained that there's no real alternative.
Yeah, that was one of the things we were bringing up in over in staff, because for people who are like new to the forum, if you want to have an avatar, it's kind of different on this site because you can't just upload anything. You can't have like 1,000 Goku avatars for every user. Unfortunately, I know that breaks the forum experience for some people, but ours is a lot more community based. So I'm sure most of the people listening to this will be aware. But over in the fan forum, you actually make avatars for people, and then they either choose to accept them or reject them. Like if you're like me and can only draw in MS Paint. It took me a while to get the avatar for that.
I mean, Mitch was telling me like when he joined the site 20 years ago,
Yeah.
he he really wanted to have a Goku avatar, and I was like, no, man, you can't do this yet.
Yeah, I mean, I
But-
have been part of the site for 47 years now, and that makes me somewhat of an elder, but explain this to me. You need to have
Yes.
okay, so you need to have permission to use an avatar? When I joined, I think I chose a sprite. I mean, it's so hard to remember. That was 61 years ago, but
Yeah. I understand.
how?
But yeah, so
how does
you
that
basically have
differ?
to. You basically have to get the rights first, and typically the way it's been done before is you either get rights by doing 3 avatars for other people who already have rights, and don't try and scale that back in your head, because then we'll get into some like original rights question about who had the first avatar, and I honestly don't know. So we'll just assume that there were people who had with the ability to have avatars at some point in the beginning. But yeah, so you could either make avatars for those people. When you get 3 or 4, you get rights yourself, or you could do contests and submit art or music in the occasional fan fest, and either 3rd, 2nd, or 1st prize would give you avatar rights. But we're hoping to change that with this podcast.
Okay, cool.
Yep, so the avatars, they like serve as a sort of name tag, like they have to have your forum name in them. So that's like another thing that's sort of different from other forums that people should be aware of, I guess.
Yeah, so don't send us fan mail saying, "How do I get an avatar?"
We explained this in the first one.
Yeah.
That's how you know who the real fans of the show are. If they ask you questions related to things that you've clearly already answered. They're out.
So yeah, what was our first? What was this leading up to again?
Yeah, what's this podcast about again?
Something about EarthBound.
I think there was an EarthBound.
Oh, Chrono Trigger.
Oh yeah, there was a fan fest we did of that once. Actually, it was pretty
Years
cool.
ago.
We should do that again because Chrono Trigger.
I'm sure Mitch remembers.
Better than.
Oh yeah, I was the
good old
festiest of all of them. I was infested.
1968, right? Yeah. The good old Chrono Trigger Fan Fest of 1968.
Oh, that one. No. I was not in that one. I was in the 1951, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So we wanted to talk about the forums and what makes us like worth joining, I guess. What's interesting on the forum. And then we also wanted to talk about some of our plans for future features on the podcast itself. Like, as I said, we're going to have, like, a discussion point. I think next week I'm going to have Marietta RC on to talk about, like, theories and headcanons and stuff.
Ooh, I'm excited to listen to that.
Mitch had some questions about the forum.
Yeah. So, if I may be allowed to drop the joke that I thought was hilarious and totally worth our time, I joined Starman.net about 3 or 4 hours ago. My name on the forum is Wolfe, Wolfe, which I was very excited wasn't taken. And here's the problem I have. I'm just so popular in every facet of
understand
what that word means that my time is very valuable. And I don't understand why. Why would I go to a fan site to type in a forum rather than just go to EarthBound Wiki or something like that? I don't think it's called that at all, but that's the gist of the question. You understand what I'm getting?
You're not far off, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is actually literally just.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's a thing that exists.
So here's the thing that makes Starmen better. We don't suck, and we're not boring.
Can you qualify that?
We have fan art showcases. We have like places where you can write about theories, places you can write fan fiction, contests. I guess in general, there's just a lot more things to do, or at least that's the plan. A lot of stuff kind of fell apart after a while, so we're sort of bringing a little bit of that back.
Yeah, well, if there's one thing we've always really had, and as an advantage to even like just general social media sites these days, is that we have this killer, tight-knit community of artists. And I mean artists in every sense of the word, so musicians, fan art, writers, basically every permutation of creativity is in some way, shape, or form embodied on the forum, in either our fan forum or writing forum or what have you. But we have this, like, the amount of talent that's passed through this site in the 10 plus years it's been around is incredible. And we have some pretty awesome archives of like even internet celebrities on YouTube and people like that can be traced back to all these fan art topics and things when they were doodling EarthBound stuff in like their teens, which I think is pretty awesome.
Cool. That is really, really cool.
And a part of that is just because as a community that has moderators, we're able to kind of filter the good stuff, so you only get the good stuff, so you don't have to go browsing through hundreds and hundreds of tweets or Tumblr things to finally get something that you like. So it's kind of like highly concentrated EarthBound goodness.
I mean, that's the thing. Starmen's been around for like forever. So,
you know what? I think Starmen's been around longer than some kids have been. Like some kids who are now members have been alive.
Well, I know that I've been part of Starmen longer than I've been alive, at least.
And that kind of blew my mind, like just realizing that. But yeah, I'd say that's the main advantage.
Old, I guess.
If you'd allow me to continue being the devil's advocate, why would I join a fan site for a series that's not really alive anymore, nor has any plans to come back?
Well, I'd say that EarthBound is alive in all of us.
Okay. All right. Fair point.
No, seriously, dude. If you like the game, like, I don't see why it being old would suddenly make it less enjoyable.
Well, it's not just old, it's very old, and you'd think that you'd run out of things to talk about.
Yeah, well, we certainly do have the reoccurring theories that pop up every so often, like, oh my god, I bet Lucas is Ness's dad. Yeah, or something.
Lucas is
something
Ness's
that we've
dad?
seen.
Is that really one of them?
No, but I think someone theorized that Gygus was the surrogate child of, like, the phone, who was Ness's dad, but the phone was also the hot dog salesman in Mother 3. And it was some, like, I think I'm appropriating 4 or 5 different theories when I say this, but
yeah, we've had some weird ones. Like, you can pretty much just go to any of the motherboards and be like, okay,
and look for the first topic with a strike through it, and that's probably what it is.
Literally, right before we started recording, I watched a YouTube video from the Game Theorists. It was insinuating that Sans from Undertale is Ness. And I don't know how I feel about it yet. It was very well constructed, and honestly, I can't find too many holes in it. And I do know both games, EarthBound and Undertale, pretty well.
That's a pretty awesome theory.
Yeah.
That's also a good time to bring up that we're also probably the world's first hybrid forum. Because we have Undertale.
We talk about
EarthBound.
Undertale because we like dogs.
More or less.
So since Toby is a mod here,
yeah, Mr. Radiation,
we sort of appropriated Starmen as an Undertale central. So if you don't care about EarthBound but care about Undertale, there you go. There's another reason for you to join.
So are you guys gonna? Does Starman cover? Do they just pick what they cover? If they are covering Undertale as well, are they going to cover Mother 4, the fan game?
Maybe. I'd say so. I'd say Mother 4 is definitely something that's been hyped up on these forums more than anywhere else.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely think at the least we're going to, like, embrace the...
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to sit there and be like, oh, this isn't official. We don't like it. But,
no fun allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. I've been very excited.
Yeah, in fact, fun story, my first post ever on this forum, I joined so that I could make a, hey, have you guys heard of Mother 4? And this is after it was, like, in development for 3 years.
I think that's everyone's first post.
And then I was quickly shut down. But it was in a very nice and caring way. I was shut down in such a way that it made me want to stay.
I haven't posted yet. Should I post, hey, have you guys heard of Mother 4?
Well, if reputation is anything to go by, I'd say that's a strong start.
Okay,
you might end up being a mod someday.
I'll post it under Undertale discussion.
Post it in writing so Boots can infract you.
Yours truly.
Okay, I'll look for it. There we go.
Oh man, I did not expect this podcast to take this kind of direction so quickly.
I think it'll be more fun this way.
I thought we'd be at least 4 or 5 episodes in before we started live blogging the questionable postings.
Well, anyone who knows me on the forums knows I'm a little bit of a troublemaker, so maybe I wasn't the best person to be in charge of this, but...
well, we're stuck with you now, so...
Yeah, I have that fancy website staff emblem now.
Ooh.
I wonder what the deal with that is. I'm gonna go use it to... I think I used it once, and it was to, like, as a joke, I was telling, like, Unfounded that if he locked one of the threads that I'd break up with him.
Oh, heartbreaking. I just
Sorry,
can't
I'm
imagine
being
Wolfe
quiet
with
right now. I'm typing a post.
Oh, it's okay. You take all the time you need. This is actually a good opportunity for Andrew and I to talk about, I guess, one of the topics we had organized. Because we had this loose list for stuff we wanted to talk about in, like, a notepad somewhere. So we'll find something to talk about going off that list.
Yeah, so fan art of the week is a thing that's back.
It's a thing. Hooray! Hold on, I can do fanfare. Okay, but yeah, we have fan art of the... did you say fan artist or fan art?
We're doing fan art first. But yes, the other thing is a thing too. Can we get another fanfare?
Oh yeah.
So, I'm bringing these back. Fan art of the week it's bi-weekly now. Because I'm not editing this every week.
Because we're lazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, so if you guys, like we were talking about on the front page of the forum, or front page of the site, which I guess is technically the front, whatever, they used to have Fan Art of the Week and Artist Spotlight, which were two awesome events where every week or month, I think that was it, month for fan artist and every week for Fan Art of the Week, obviously, we choose somebody who made awesome art, and we'd reward them with either a badge or avatar rights or a nicely worded letter. So we're going to bring that back in some form.
Yep, it's back. We've unretired the badge, and it is being handed out to Kanisu.
Yay!
Woo!
Yeah, Kanisu and his awesome EarthBound. Well, I guess it's called EarthBound Beginnings now. EarthBound Beginnings art.
Yeah, I almost called it EarthBound 0, and I got yelled at. So
years of conditioning. But yeah, so congratulations to him. If you guys haven't heard of him or seen his art, I highly recommend going and checking the Mother 1+2+3 art forum in the official gallery of 2016. Or sorry, the Mother 1+2+3 art official gallery in the art forum. I mixed up those two words.
Yeah, some of these arts he's done are like, they could go commercial. Like, they're very very nice
I think he actually has done some commercial work in the past, which is like just a testament to how good his skills are. So yeah, congrats to you.
Yeah, I like the world.
I love you.
I liked the world of Mother. Like, it's very structured. There's so much detail in a small space, really. So I'll link to that in the podcast thread, but you should also check out the other stuff because it's really cool.
Brief aside, if I may, brief aside. I posted a topic in the writing forum. It's entitled, "Have you heard of Mother 4?" ? And then the byline is, "It's a whole one up from Mother 3."
And it's got 4 views already. You must be so proud.
I'm very, very proud.
All right, now I'm going to take a break to write... Oh, someone posted already before I got to it. Oh, no. Anyway, I'm going to take a break and write a lovely worded response to this.
Mother is a terrestrial series, says EBF.
I got to put on my moderator hat.
All the trouble we're going to get in for this. It's your fault.
Yeah, well, honestly, you shouldn't have invited me.
Oh yeah, I knew fully well what would happen if I brought you on. So the other thing that's coming back is it's the artist spotlight, and we decided Lopui. I don't know how to pronounce. But yeah, that person. We're not gonna do like that every week. Well, every bi-week because we're lazy. But she posts art like near constantly, and it is very, very professional looking. She does like really great work with like landscaping, um, very starry skies, and like very, I don't know, it's just like very, like the perspective is always very well done in her artwork. So that's why I picked her.
Woo!
Hey, I'm back. Oh man, I was narrating my life like there was no tomorrow, because I was just alone here in the silence.
Wait, did you really?
Yes, I have a full 10 minutes of just incoherent ramblings.
That was so much longer than 10 minutes.
Well, it felt. I went to get food, so maybe that took about 5 minutes. But anyway, I'm back. Sorry for
Hey,
for
if you just
interrupting.
wanted to get food and not talk with us, you can admit it.
I was in the middle of infracting you too, so you're lucky. I'm gonna
I guess
continue
that means
doing
you
this
can't
now.
ever, huh? In fact, you should probably sticky it instead.
After that bit of technical difficulties, I just need to cut out like 30 minutes of audio.
I'm so sorry. Let me go ahead and infract this guy for his Mother 4 post. I've been waiting to do this for like the past 30 minutes or however long my ISP decided to go.
Yeah,
party.
I'm glad you're getting around to it. We were wondering why that wasn't being done.
Well, actually, I'm not even going to infract you per se. I'm going to say that there's absolutely nothing wrong with this post, aside from it being in the wrong section. So I'm going to move you to the EB boards and have someone else deal with this.
I don't know if there's nothing wrong with it.
So I'm going to move this, and I'll have Taylor or someone deal with this.
It should go in the EarthBound board.
Yes. So, EarthBound, Mother 2.
This is pretty good.
Query. And you know what? I might as well infract you for good measure.
Okay, cool.
Can you infract me too? Hold on, I'll post in it. I have so
on,
many.
someone-
I have so many joke infractions at this point.
Oh, man. What happened?
Wait, you put it in the EarthBound/Mother 2 forum?
I think so.
Why did you do...
Because
Okay.
that's what all good mods do. When we
Put
don't
it
know
in a-
where it goes, we put it in EarthBound.
Really?
No.
I
I'm
don't
just
know how you guys
causing
do.
trouble. Oh, I can't infract. Actually, I moved you out of my jurisdiction, so I can't infract you now.
Oh, it's fine. I'm gonna get infracted. I'm sure now that some person that doesn't know me at all is in charge of
It's
the board.
okay. I'm sure nothing bad will happen because of this.
Well,
Anyway, where were you guys? Where did you guys leave off?
All right, so after that little bit of technical difficulty, I think I announced the artist spotlight, right?
Ah, yes, artist spotlight.
Do you want me to just re-announce that so you can pretend to be excited again?
Sure.
no. I think we were fine.
Okay, I'll just celebrate now, and then you can edit in my cheer earlier. So,
Okay.
hooray! Hooray! Congrats to the artist for a very nice job, well done.
I'll leave that in. I'm not editing that. Okay, so
Okay,
what else is on the list?
on the list. Any more questions about how the forum works?
Yeah. So I heard that if there's really irrelevant posts in one forum section, the mod from that forum is very likely to put it in the Mother 2 section.
Yes.
For what I can only assume to be the most genuine form of giggles.
It is a tradition that has lasted for a number of minutes.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I know. I've been a member of the forum for 8 minutes,
8-year minutes.
so I know
That's like 8 years in dog minutes.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think you mean Wolfe minutes.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Sorry.
right.
Got
This
it.
is the internet after all.
Yeah, we got to keep this internally consistent here.
And I don't really know where that leaves on the list.
Well, I just wanted to say that I have been a genuine huge fan of EarthBound and Mother 3 for a very long time, And I'm also a huge fan of Undertale. So I really don't know why I haven't got involved with this website as of yet. In fact, EarthBound was probably in my top 5 games of all time until Undertale came out, and then it was moved to like number 6, and now Undertale is in my top 5 games of all time. So I'm very excited to be here on the very first episode of whatever you've decided to call this podcast.
I'll just edit it in and post. Like I'll splice it together out of
but
words
in a
you
really
said.
monotone voice, so it's super obvious that you've edited it in. But yeah, because we have like this crazy. I'd say the Undertale board has probably been responsible for 80% of the traffic that's been coming through these forums in like the past 2 months or however long it's been since Undertale was released. Because
well, that's understandable when your other latest game is 10 years old.
Yeah, so that was pretty awesome. It did mean we had to double up on mod duties because more traffic means more questionable posting, to use the appropriate term.
Yeah, I hear there's this post about Mother 4 that you should
Yeah.
probably...
Well, you know, that's like a finely aged wine because it's a callback. I appreciate the effort that went into it because it's a callback to the earlier days of terrible posting.
Oh yeah, and I've been here since the beginning, so I definitely know.
Exactly. So it's a real connoisseur who makes a post like that.
What are we talking about, Andrew?
Mother 1. Let's
Mother
go.
1.
Yeah.
The game I have not very much played.
It's also a game I haven't very much played.
But he's been recently playing it.
I have, yeah. I recently, like, less than a month ago, and I've been going very slow because I've been playing lots of games, started playing EarthBound Beginnings, also known as Mother 1, also known as EarthBound 0, also known as EarthBound Nintendo's Conquest. And it's entirely different from what I expected, and I'm not entirely sure if it's neutral or positive or negative, but it's entirely just a huge surprise for me. I've always heard people talk about it in these abstract terms, like there's a lot of grinding, which is true. The story is very profound and robust for an NES game, also very, very true considering its contemporaries. But I don't think I could have ever expected this.
Yeah, like, I'm actually going to say, like, Mother 1 is my favorite out of the 3.
Really? Well, did you know there's a Mother 4 coming out?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty excited for that Mother 4, but it won't be as good as Mother 1.
Wow, that's pretty rare. Usually, people are always preferring either EarthBound or Mother 3 out of the trilogy.
Yeah, so I like that Mother 1 is so open-ended. Like, it doesn't give you many answers, so you have to sort of, like, fill in the blanks yourself. And it has that sort of, like, self-insert kind of quality to it. Which EarthBound kind of has that with Ness, but, like, the switching protagonists and stuff makes it not as, I don't know, not as
immersive?
I guess, yeah.
It can't be like that all the time because, like, when you're Pooh, it's not going to be as it's not going to be the same kind of you that you're putting into the role play of the character.
Yeah, it's like if I name Ness after myself, you know, switching characters doesn't. With Mother 1, like, they really intended you to sort of be the protagonist. And, like, he said this in interviews and stuff, but it's like it has more of that sense of, like, I wouldn't...
Like familiarity or something?
I mean, I guess it's like you're sort of exploring it on your own, and, like, there's a lot of space, I guess. I mean, there's not all of it's, like, filled, I guess, because it's an NES game.
Yeah, it was an NES game, so part of that was the technical limitations.
But, like...
But, I mean, it's a testament to how good the game is that they were able to use these technical limitations for an actual purpose.
Yeah. And that's something that really shows when you play like a third-party game from the NES era.
Yeah. How
much companies like Nintendo or Capcom or Rare knew what they were doing with the hardware so much better than just...
I mean, the most contemporary example I can think of is when Silent Hill 2 uses the fog, which is the technical limitation of the PlayStation, but also the like it's all about the narrative. The fog is an intrinsic part of the game.
Yeah, or how like Pokemon were originally supposed to learn infinite moves, and you were supposed to have infinite amount of them in your party at once. But due to memory limitations, they cut that down to 4 and 6 respectively, making it probably a much better game.
Yeah, I think so. I actually, when I played just a little bit of EarthBound, or EarthBound Beginnings, as it's now called, I kind of lost interest in it pretty quickly.
I think it has a really, really slow start.
Yeah,
Like, I think
that's
it has the worst start
absolutely
out of
true.
all of them.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
it was a grueling start for me. That's probably why I lost
well,
interest.
the starts of the game just get so much better with each one. Even if you count like Undertale as a spiritual fourth one of those. With EarthBound Beginnings is like kind of whatever, and then with EarthBound you get the meteorite and the sense of mystery and like the kind of feel from the Goonies where Porky shows up and reminds you of that character from the Goonies whose name is now Porky in my mind. And then Mother 3's beginning is crazy. Actually, Mother 3 is probably better than Undertale's. Never mind.
Yeah, I would say Mother 3 has one of the strongest intros to a narrative-based game that I've ever experienced. And that's also just because I think Mother 3 is awesome. It's my favorite.
It also has a monkey in it, so that's pretty cool.
But the whole capture, the flyover of the island with it's a MIDI rock guitar, but it's a rock guitar all the same. When you're playing this for the first time, you're like, oh man, yeah, he's got a rock guitar inside of a Game Boy. That's awesome.
Yeah. Just you can tell that these games were kind of late on the console that they were on, all three of them, because they really just tore into what that console was. Maybe with the exception of EarthBound, because there were slightly more intricately layered Super Nintendo games like Chrono Trigger and Donkey Kong Country, to name a few. But especially EarthBound Beginnings and EarthBound 2, Mother 3. They really maximized what they were able to do. And not only that, but what they were able to do, they made it work for them. Like the black background in EarthBound Beginnings works in a way of casting shadow, and it works in a way of highlighting the importance of the center character, when a game like Final Fantasy 1 has to do that. They're doing the same thing, but it clearly feels like EarthBound Beginnings is more aware and more efficient with the use of its surroundings and the use of its hardware.
Yeah, and then they kind of went total opposite of that with when EarthBound came out with its psychedelic backgrounds and crazy colors just nonstop flashing.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting choice. Kind of the polar opposite. But I feel like it didn't detract from the EarthBound experience, and that's probably because EarthBound's meant to be more zany than the original game, or original first. Yeah,
I think overall, the first game is very, I don't know, the tone is sort of different, and I think that's sort of why I like it, because even though it's sort of a little moodier, I guess, the music is always really upbeat, and it's I don't know. It really sells its comic book sort of feel. I like that pretty much all the soundtrack has lyrics to it. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's true, eh?
I don't know. I just think it's a good game.
It's totally a good game. I would definitely want to play it with the Easy Ring on, which was the that I'm pretty sure didn't Tomato put that in?
Yeah, he did that for the Mother 1 and 2 translation.
For Mother 1 and 2, the Easy Ring, which makes you gain more EXP and reduces random battle encounters. I feel like that's the most, at least for me, is the most playable state the game is.
Oh yeah, it hasn't aged well at all. It's
yeah.
One last thing on Mother 1 I want to talk about that I really, really enjoyed was it felt like a prequel, but in the best sort of way, not like a Phantom Menace kind of way, more like a Godfather 2 sort of way. And I can't tell if it's... I did play EarthBound before I played EarthBound Beginnings, but I just... something about it seems like, yes, this was exactly made to explain a few of the things that you were confused about in EarthBound, where I mean, go through any other trilogy of things that are generally considered pretty good, like The Matrix or Star Wars, and the first one will always seem so disconnected from the second two.
Yeah.
Because it's somewhere in between the development of 1 and 2. The developer gets sidetracked and they're like, well, I kind of don't want to... I don't know. I think now the Force is about grabbing things over a distance. So now I'm going to emphasize that instead of it being a religion. And it's cool both ways, but yeah, it's different.
My rule of trilogies was always the first one, and I mean, it doesn't work for everything, but it was always the first one was usually pretty good. The second iteration will probably statistically be the best, and then the third one will be okay, but maybe better than the first, but maybe not as good as the second. And I find that holds true for things like Star Wars, for EarthBound, Donkey Kong Country. So
Godfather.
That's my rule of Godfather. That's my rule of trilogies.
Doesn't quite work with The Matrix.
Or The Matrix. No, The Matrix is just it's at its peak when it starts.
Yeah, well, apparently I found this out recently. Sorry to sidetrack you through the sidetrack, but apparently Matrix 2 and 3 were supposed to be one movie, and like the producers made the directors stretch it out to be a trilogy.
That would
instead of a duology.
Things. Yeah, I don't know what really they were thinking with the Matrix sequels, but who knows? At least it didn't happen to EarthBound.
Well, I mean, at least the Matrix movies came out in America.
Oh, shots fired.
Yeah, well...
hey, you don't know with all these rumors.
There's rumors, and there's a siege going on right now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Because part of this podcast is talking about news.
Yeah.
Speaking of how far are we into this? We're an hour in, and we haven't talked about any EarthBound
We're not
news.
actually an hour in. We're like maybe 40, 30 minutes in. I can't tell.
Okay.
Yeah, so the EarthBound siege, we're posting drawings and stuff on Miiverse. We want to make sure they're they're very effort filled.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are just kind of drawing whatever, and we want to make sure that it gets across that this is something that people really care about. We want them to be more polite in nature than what most people.
I think the thing I noted in the front post was we're looking for quantity, obviously, because we want to kind of spread the message that hey, there is a fan base in the North Americas for this game and also Europe, but we also don't want them to just purely be quality or quantity instead of quality.
Right.
So I actually, if you haven't seen the top, but we had a really nice Miiverse post made by King Darien, who's another member of this forum. And then I drew one underneath that in Microsoft Paint as an example of what's not good to post. And it's it has little poops with flies, an angry Mr. Saturn who's screaming obscenities in Mr. Saturn language. And then, So basically stuff you don't want to post on the Miiverse.
Come on, Reggie.
Yeah. So our goal is not to annoy people, to give them this impression that, EarthBound fans, those are those people who post nonsense on the Miiverse pages nonstop, 24/7. And instead, our goal is to be more EarthBound, that's that game that these people never got. We should think about releasing that.
Right.
Yeah, we like this thing. Why is this thing not here? We kind of want it. It's moderately, but not enough to yell at you.
Exactly. The Canadian approach. So that was kind of the goal of the siege, and if I do say so myself,
that's a good siege.
It's a good siege. It's kind of been taking off in the best way possible, because we've seen some crazy stunning great works that people have done on their gamepads, which is just mind blowing to me. I can hardly draw a circle on my gamepad, either 3DS or Wii U, and then we have people doing these wonderfully shaded, cross-hatched, awesome designs and character illustrations. I'm how do you do this? You literally have two colors and the stylus that has a dead zone of about 5 pixels. So I don't understand how you're getting these precise lines.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
I've seen
incredible.
some really like ridiculous stuff. Probably if anything, it's proved that we are a very artsy fan base,
Exactly, yeah.
which is it's kind of interesting when you like look at different fan communities. Some of them like really focus on like some aspect of creating something, and I think
That's
like
true,
Starmen.
and that's weird.
I think Starman is like definitely very art centric.
Yeah, like visual art.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We did have this pretty awesome music community, but that was really early in the site. That was like around the 2000s. And I'm pretty sure that's because there weren't a lot of music sharing sites that even existed back then, aside from like MySpace. So people generally posted all their videos and all their music just on the same fan forum that their art would go on. But yeah, and as sites like SoundCloud and YouTube developed, we've seen less music and less audiovisual stuff pop up unless we specifically ask for it. So that's, yeah, I'd just say the evolving nature of the internet's kind of taken away a lot of these multimedia things. But we still left with fan art, so that's fine.
Yeah, I am from the fan community DK Vine, as that's the way Andrew knows me.
Yep.
And we clearly have a fixation on podcasts right now.
Yeah, I wonder where I got this idea from. It's not like I shamelessly stole it.
It's
Yeah.
you're so obsessed it's leaking over into other fan bases.
Yeah, and I'm proud of it. I'm in charge of. Well, I'm not in charge of. I co-host one of them, and I also have another podcast. So I would consider myself a podcast hobbyist. So I'm super glad that more fan communities are getting into them, because I feel like they're one of the best ways to unify the community and to unify the people who just want to have a figurehead or a figure voice for something that they care about. And these people wouldn't be on Starmen if they didn't care about EarthBound or Undertale. So it's great that there is something for that now.
Yeah, I agree. Because back in the heyday, because we used to, well, we still have Radio PSI, but it's kind of fallen off the radar now. And back in the heyday, that was like, you go to the forums and you listen to Radio PSI because we've got a whole bunch of like fan fiction readings. We've got our own little radio plays that got put on, and we have DJs with music almost every single day of the week. And then obviously as kind of internet culture evolved and there were different sites for music hosting and stuff like that, that kind of fell under the radar. But yeah, that's a really good point about podcasts. Like, they could totally make a comeback. Podcasts really haven't changed over the past decade.
Yeah, and people still like consistently
Yeah.
listen to them. So
why didn't we think of this sooner?
Yeah,
because
come
they didn't
on.
have me on staff.
You were the magic key that we needed.
So
Yeah,
what
that's
else
just
is going on the site?
Um,
There was a recent thread that was like a hype thread for a certain thing that's coming up.
oh,
I
that's
wonder
right.
I wonder
yeah.
if there might be a tournament that
I
already
wonder whose turn it was meant to be.
End of podcast right there. That was good. No, but like
Oh god.
I think
Well, I shouldn't be on air.
I think this one has a little more
I'd say
structure.
It's got a real kick to it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like got a little more potential than the last, because that one was very hard to keep organized.
Exactly, yeah.
But,
Where is this on the forum?
I'm pretty sure it's not fan forum. Is it Beyond EarthBound or whatever we've decided to call it? It used to be Beyond Fangamer, and then it was Beyond EarthBound.
I think it
And this
might
It's Beyond
be.
Earthbound.
Beyond EarthBound, okay.
But the URL does say all the stuff /BFG.
Yeah, that was.
So
Beyond
you have
Fangamer.
relics
Yeah, we-
of the past hanging out.
Oh, if there's one thing this site has, it's relics.
Yeah,
Like, the whole front page is a relic, to put it bluntly.
yeah.
So, yeah.
There's a reason I'm sort of trying to replace the front page with this because it doesn't work anymore.
It works in a very interesting way that's maybe not the most appropriate. And I say appropriate in the terms of like, this is 2016, and we've still got a 2000s era front page.
Yeah.
So,
I just
and
know,
it's
like,
kind of-
a lot of people don't really have the ability to update it consistently, which...
Yeah, because it's all about the code of this old site, because the CMS and all this other stuff that goes into the front page has some really specific privilege requirements for different members of staff, and then as more and more people had started getting real lives and leaving the staff,
no one
a lot
had
of
the
these-
ability to edit it.
a lot of these arcane wisdom and magic about how to use the front page kind of went with them.
I hope
So,
super hardcore Earthbound fans who want a front page again like this, and like my single contribution I'll ever be making to this website.
Well,
Well, if
that
you-
and your
yeah.
infraction, your pending infraction. I'll make
Your
sure...
impending infraction.
I'll make sure to pass it on to the other mods that we should infract.
Oh, I've
these
already notified the EarthBound board mod, so she'll be contacting you shortly.
Have you?
Yes.
Fantastic.
But yeah, if you wanted to help with the front page redesign, you can learn Ruby. If you learn Ruby, you can code the front page, and if you do a good job, we might put it up. It might only take 5 years. Yeah, but that tournament's one of the things that's going on in the forum, and I'm pretty excited.
I'm not. I'm going to lose it.
Who do you guys main?
Donkey Kong, of course.
I main basically anybody who holds a sword,
Oh yeah.
which, considering the Smash 4 roster, is quite a lot. But yeah, I was, even in Melee, I played Link when I should have known better. And and I don't know, man.
I mean, there's a
like
better
the way
guy
he
with a
plays.
sword in that game. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're talking about Roy, but...
I'm clearly not talking about that.
What are you talking about, man? Roy's the best. He's got a fire sword. If fire swords aren't better than regular swords, I don't know where you've got your priorities.
That is a good truth you've laid out there. I mean Ness in Smash 4.
He's
I like him. I think it's maybe the best game Ness has been in. Probably. I don't. Well, he was in some JRPG before Smash. I don't remember the name.
Is that games of all time, or is that including fan games? Because there have been some pretty awesome fan games with Ness in them.
Did Ness co-star in Sonic Dreams Collection? Because if so,
I think so. Yeah, he
10
was
out of
underneath
10.
the truck. You had to push the truck, and there he was. No, yeah, Smash 4 is pretty good. I like it a lot more than Melee, and I've gotten a lot of hate for that. But
Yeah.
I will come out and say it. I like Smash 4. I like to play it more than I like to play Melee.
Yeah, I don't like Melee at all, but I'm weird, so...
Well, there's
I think it's
definitely
too
see
it's
the
too
merits,
fast
right?
paced for me. Like, and the combos don't really flow together as well as I like.
You have to
them
really know what you're doing in order to be good at it. Whereas in Smash 4, you can kind of get away with kind of like mashing and having a general idea. Oh, I want to go to the left, and you'll
yeah.
go
I mean,
somehow.
I love Melee, but I also give in to peer pressure. So you guys are right.
That was the best comment I've heard all day.
Yeah, I think we're doing good. This is a good podcast.
Yeah, good hustle.
Good.
We only had one technical difficulty.
And it only lasted
And-
30 minutes.
It only
Dudes.
lasted 30 minutes, so we can only go uphill from here. So yeah, thanks for getting us all together, Andrew.
Yeah, this has been
Thanks,
fun.
Andrew.
Let's do this again.
I guess I should say next week we're gonna have. I already said
Isn't-
this before,
Isn't
but
this bi-weekly?
or yeah, next bye week. That doesn't.
Next bi-week.
We're gonna have Marietta RC on to talk about theories and headcanons. So if you would like to submit to the
The topic?
topic, you can either post it in the topic, private message to me, or I will have like an email you can send like audio to, and we can play the audio on the air. Actually,
We will be previewing the audio, though.
yeah. So if it's if it's not appropriate, I will cut it out immediately.
It's 30 seconds of white noise, like volume boosted to the max.
So if you care at all about that sort of thing, or if you just want to complain on the internet, I think that's what you do on podcasts.
Yeah, what a better place to do it than on a podcast.
Yeah, just send us the audio and we will totally play it.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for listening.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can I plug the thing I wanted to plug?
Oh, we haven't ended yet.
This has been sponsored by.
I'm sorry. I
No,
should
you're
have
good.
reminded you.
Sure.
Okay. Hey, if you liked me at all, you can find me on iTunes. I have a different podcast. It's called The Second Worst Idea. It's where a friend of mine and I watch the movie Mean Girls 2 together a lot every week. We've been doing it for 23 weeks now, and we're going to do it for a full year. So that's 52 weeks every week. One Mean Girls 2 viewing. One very, very sad Mitchell Wolfe. You can also find me on Twitter at TheWolfeFM. That's at TheWolfeFM. Thanks. Bye-bye.
I'll never forget you.